Master the art of describing habits in English. Hello, language learners. Today, we're diving deep into daily routines and habits. More specifically, we're going to talk about how you can describe personal habits using frequency adverbs. Are you ready? Let's get started. Frequency adverbs are a special type of words that help us to express how often we do something. Examples include always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Always implies that the action happens 100% of the time. Example: I always brush my teeth before bed. Usually indicates that the action happens most of the time, roughly around 80%. Example: I usually have coffee in the morning. Often shows that the action happens about 60% to 70% of the time. Example: I often read a book before sleeping. Sometimes signifies that the action happens occasionally, around 30% to 50% of the time. Example: I sometimes watch movies on the weekends. Rarely means the action hardly ever happens, about 10% of the time. Example: I rarely eat fast food. Never states that the action does not happen at all, 0% of the time. Example: I never smoke. So, how do we use these frequency adverbs to describe our personal habits? It's quite simple. All you need to do is add the frequency adverb after the subject, I, you, he, she, etc., and before the main verb. Here are some examples. I always wake up at 6 a.m. She often forgets her keys. We sometimes go to the gym after work. Practice using these adverbs in your own sentences, and soon it will become a habit. Frequency adverbs are not just used in affirmative sentences. They can also be used in questions and negative sentences. For questions, the structure is do, does plus subject plus frequency adverb plus main verb. Example: do you usually play soccer on weekends? For negative sentences, we use the structure subject plus do, does plus not plus frequency adverb plus main verb. Example: he doesn't often watch TV. By practicing these patterns, you'll be able to ask about and express how often you or someone else does an activity. That wraps up our lesson on using frequency adverbs to describe habits. By now, you should be more comfortable discussing your daily routines and habits in English. Keep practicing, and remember the position of the adverb can make a significant difference in your sentence. See you in the next lesson, and until then, keep practicing.